guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome. My name is fitobakeng, also known as fitobakeng. So today's video will be touching on the transition from meat eater to plant-based diet, and the reason I wanted to do this is because I have gotten a lot of questions about this, why I did it, how did I do it, what is the difference, all of that other stuff. So I'm hoping that today's video will inform you guys a bit more about the transition and being on a plant-based diet, what it means for me. There will be a part 2 of this video, so this is the first part. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Without wasting any further time. Okay guys, so the question that I get that is like top tier is why I moved from a meat-based diet to a plant-based diet, right? And the reason for that is because I'm gonna keep it very short. I used to suffer a lot from constipation, and then my doctor recommended that I move away from meat, but girl was like, girl, boy, bye, I'm not doing that. I will not do that. I don't have time for that. My parents eat meat, I am gonna eat meat. Let's find another solution. So then my doctor gave me medicine which helped me with regulating my digestive system. I do think though there were other factors that contributed to my system not being able to digest things quicker, and that's because fiber. I didn't eat as much fiber and vegetables back then as I do now. But anyway, from then I started off by cutting red meat. After a while, I realized that the syrup thing, drinking medicine every day, is not for me. There are two things I hate: going to the doctor and drinking medicine. I don't mess with those things. I just don't do it. You know, even when I'm sick, I'm just like, let's try self-healing first. Let us just try heal other ways. So anyway, I moved from eating red meat to eating chicken and fish. Then I moved from eating chicken to eating just fish, which took me quite a while to let go of, but I still ate my dairy products. So for me, the only byproduct that was hard to let go, or only diet product that I had in my system, in my diet, was dairy. I never ate eggs since I was young. Another story for another day, but the only thing I had as a byproduct was the dairy, right? And then I stuck with dairy and fish for quite a while. Bounced back to chicken a bit, and then went back to just fish and my byproducts. So then after a while I decided, hey, you know what, let's let go of fish and still stick with my dairy. Some people let go of dairy first before letting go of like fish, but I decided to do it the other way around. So I let go of my fish, right? And let me tell you guys, I wasn't okay. Letting go of red meat and chicken was the easiest, but letting go of fish was very hard, mainly because I enjoyed mussels, I enjoyed prawns, I enjoyed my sushi, my salmon, all those delicious things. I absolutely love them. But I promised myself that I would do it, and not because I feel like I was forced to do it, but because I wanted to do it, and I wanted to see how far I can take this whole changing my lifestyle thing, right? And living at home with trying to change your lifestyle is almost impossible, mainly because, first of all, the groceries are bought by my mom. She cooks, so she's not gonna now go cook chickpeas and then cook stew on the side. Those chickpeas, it is my responsibility to buy them and my responsibility to cook them. So the transition while I was at home was up and down all the time. The temptations were there at all times. There was just a lot going on, you know, so that was a bit hard. Anyway, I then moved from eating fish to not eating meat at all, but I stuck with my byproducts mainly because I enjoyed yogurt. Yogurt was the hardest thing for me to let go, and finding alternatives back then was a bit harder because things were very expensive. Like coconut yogurt was very expensive, and Woolies at the time didn't have the non-dairy coconut yogurt. So they had like the coconut flavored yogurt, not the non-dairy coconut yogurt. And buying it at Wellness was so expensive. I think a tub was like 84 Rand or something, but it was quite pricey. So I decided, you know what, we're gonna stick this dairy out thing for quite a bit, and I just stuck with it, you know. Still feeling bloated from eating the dairy, but I didn't let it go immediately. I then started drinking soy milk, and I was like, okay, this is not too bad, like we can work with this. Then I started doing my research, trying to find other ways of replacing yogurt. I came across quite a few things. What I then did is move from eating yogurt for breakfast to eating oats, right? With oats, then I added my soy milk and not my regular milk, and that kind of helped me let go of yogurt, because I used to eat yogurt as part of my breakfast. So not having it as part of my breakfast helped me quite a lot with letting yogurt go. And then Woolies, the boss, came through with the alternatives, which I was quite happy about. So when they came through with the alternatives, that's when I moved completely to being plant-based. Let go of my dairy, all was hunky-dory, I was very happy. But the only thing I need to emphasize is that this happened in a better manner when I left home and started living alone. And that's because the groceries were my responsibility, cooking was my responsibility, feeding myself was my responsibility. So all those things were much easier to do when I started living alone, right? Than it was when I was at home. So that's one thing to point out. And in terms of budgeting for food, so what I generally do, I make sure that I buy like my grains, my beans, so anything that's dry and covered food, I buy it at the beginning of the month or the end of the month, depending on how you look at it. And I'll make sure that I have those things all the time, and I buy enough to last me a month or two, depending on how much you budget around, depending on the specials and all that. I'm the girl who loves specials, so it depends on all of those factors, right? But I make sure that I buy enough that will last me until the end of the month at the very least. And then when it comes to fruits and vegetables, I make sure that I plan my days on Sunday to say, this is what I'm eating on Monday, I need to buy this much broccoli, this is how much I'm eating of the spinach, this is how much I'm eating of sweet corn and all that stuff. And then I go to the grocery store and buy those things. I don't buy food I know I'm not going to eat, or food that looks nice and I'm thinking of it, or I'm thinking of making a meal like that, but I haven't written it down. So planning is very, very, very important when it comes to being on a plant-based diet. But also the creativity around your meals is very important. You don't want to get bored of eating the same food, right? And people will always ask you, aren't you tired of eating the same food? Well, I don't get tired because of how I spice up my food, and I make sure that my food is not bland. Excuse me, guys. So I make sure that my food is not bland at all. I use spices, I use cumin, I use coriander, I use paprika, I use cayenne pepper, salt, pepper, I use it all, right? So I make sure that I spice up my food in the same way that you'll make your meals that contain meat nice. It is important for you to make your plant-based meals as nice as possible. So I think that is another important factor that you need to keep in mind. Just because you plant-based doesn't mean you have to go bland, right? It doesn't have to be bland at all. Anyway, so when I started sharing my journey was when I was fully comfortable with my diet, and I was fully comfortable with how I prepare my meals. It did take me a while, guys. I remember my first meals, like they were just boiled vegetables and canned chickpeas, and yeah, man, those were the dark days. Hey, those were the dark days. Looking back, I've come a really long way, and it is through research, watching YouTube videos of other people who are plant-based, not non-South Africans and South Africans. Not that there are lots in South Africa actually, yeah, but non-South Africans, when you see their menu and how they prepare it, and because they've been at it for quite a while, the accessibility of certain products in their countries has made it easier as well for them to go on these diets and stick to them for the long term. So watching those people has inspired me quite a lot, which is how I got comfortable with making things like chickpea curry, bean curry, Mexican bowls, preparing black beans in different ways. So those are the things that I generally do in order for me to enjoy and be comfortable with being on a plant-based diet. So now another question I get is, protein. Where do I get my protein from? So food has a lot of protein. There are different kinds of vegetables that contain a lot of protein, but mainly my beans, my legumes, black beans, chickpeas, kidney beans, and other beans that I have. I keep forgetting the name of this other bean, but anyway, I'll put the name here. But yeah, I get my protein mainly from beans, and I also get my protein from things like chia seeds, broccoli, like vegetables in general have a lot of protein. But because I am on like a intense workout program, yes, I work out quite intensely, I also substitute my protein with a plant-based protein powder. Some of the good ones that I have had in the past is the one from Kauai and the Biogen one. I've never tried the other brands. I will try them sometime, but those two have worked perfectly for me. Absolutely love them, and I enjoy them. They're not too sweet, and I'm able to add them to my smoothies as well. I've recommended them for people and they've quite enjoyed them. So if you are looking to substitute something when it comes to your protein, those two specifically are some good protein shakes. Another question that I get is, isn't a plant-based diet very carb loaded? Guys, any diet can be carb loaded. It depends what you eat. I try by all means not add too many carbs. You guys will notice my meals don't have rice. Quite a couple of my meals don't have rice. It's very rare for me to post something that has rice, and that's because that's how I eat. I don't like rice. I don't enjoy rice. I find it really weird actually, but anyway, I don't even know why I don't enjoy rice, to be honest. But anyway, so when it comes to like the carbs side of things, the main source of carbs that I get are from vegetables, and those are complex carbs. They keep you full for longer. They don't contain a lot of calories, which is great if you are someone who's looking very intensely at the calorie count. And also like couscous, I buy whole wheat couscous, I buy quinoa, I guess, and I do eat pasta. So pasta is something that I do still enjoy. I do buy the vegan pasta, which you can get from Pick n Pay. It is like 25 rand or so. It's the Pick n Pay brand. And another carb-based thing that I eat is probably like sweet potato and butternut. Once again, vegetables. So carbs, a vegan diet does not necessarily mean you have a lot of carbs. It just means you need to be very careful about what you eat. If you're going to be eating just potatoes, obviously it's going to be very carb dense, and that's going to make you gain weight. It's about what you eat and how you break down your different nutrients on your plate. So keep that in mind. Another question that I get all the time is about supplements. So I did make a video on this, but just to reiterate, I take my multivitamins like every other person. Well, I hope you guys take your multivitamins. And another thing that I take is calcium, and that is something that was recommended to me by a doctor, to start taking calcium, because on a vegan diet it's very hard for us to get a calcium. Calcium mainly comes from byproducts of animals, so your yogurt, your milk, and all that stuff. So since I don't eat those things or I don't consume them, calcium is very minimal in my diet. So I need to supplement my calcium. I take magnesium as well. A lot of runners take magnesium. I also take some zinc, which is also very important. Those are the supplements that were recommended to me by a doctor. Once again, if you are not training intensely or you are getting those vitamins from elsewhere, then you don't have to supplement it. Supplementing does not mean we're substituting what we should be eating. We're just adding on to what we're already consuming from food, right? So keep that in mind. Another important thing that I want to touch on is snacking. So people who enjoy biltong will be like, oh my gosh, I don't know what you guys snack on. You guys don't have savory snacks. Oh my word, this and that. sweetie, avocado on rice cake with some salt. It's very savory, I would say. It is salty, but there are other things. So you can make your own hummus. Oh, hummus is so amazing. Use it as a dip. You can dip your carrots in there, you can dip your cucumber. You can still eat your nuts, guys. Like, you don't shy away from those things. You can still eat your nuts, you can still eat your popcorn. There's a lot of other things you can still eat besides the meaty stuff. So people might say, I'm gonna miss my tuna with rice cakes. You find substitutes. If you make mushrooms on the side and you have leftover mushrooms, I promise you, you put them on rice cake with some avo and the mushrooms, or some hummus and the mushrooms. It tastes so good. It is absolutely amazing. I enjoy those type of things. So it is about getting creative and also asking the right questions. Like, okay guys, so that's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Once again, if you have any other questions about being plant-based or moving from being a meat eater to plant-based, please let me know in the comment section, and I will try my very best to answer them as best as I can. I promise you guys there will be a part 2 where I touch more on a plant-based diet, the shopping, where I go shopping, what I buy in general, like more details about what I buy, and hopefully like a full-on budget on the side. I'll show you guys how I budget for all my meals on a monthly basis versus a weekly basis. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you guys in my next video. Mwah.